Today we're making a combination dessert, two of my favorite desserts, German chocolate cake combined with pecan pie. So if you don't like recipes or desserts that are sweet, I'll give you some time now to head off into the YouTube wonderland and maybe find a cat video that you might like. But this one is a dessert that I stumbled upon from Southern Living, and it combines, as I said, my two favorite desserts. What I've done in advance is made the crust by just putting into the food processor about 3/4 of a cup of cubed cold butter with some icing sugar, flour, and cocoa, and let that set. It's just out of the oven, and I'm going to pour over top of that 1.5 cups of chocolate chips, and so they will melt over top of that. And then I'm going to prepare the pecan pie filling and then add the German chocolate components. So I'm going to put a 3/4 of a cup of, very runny but a little slow to get out, corn syrup into this bowl, and just scoop all that rich goodness out of there, and add to that 3 eggs that I've already brought to room temperature. Again, the importance of bringing all the ingredients except for the cold butter for the crust to room temperature. Then 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and just give that a mix. And then if it's not coming together, you can use a whisk. So mix that all up. I might just use the whisk to get that a little bit finer. Look at that. And this is the typical filling for a pecan pie. The chocolate on the bottom of the crust, and the chocolate as well as the coconut that I'm going to put into it represent the German chocolate cake. So I've got that mixed up. I'm going to add to it about 3 cups of chopped and toasted walnuts. Pecans. What am I saying? And a cup of sweetened coconut. Again, that's the German chocolate component. Give that a mix. Oh, you can have a look at that. Beautiful. So I'm going to mix that up, and then I'm going to pour it over top of the chocolate chips, which are gently melting into the crust. And then we're going to put it back in the oven where the crust was for 15 minutes. The crust was in there for 15 minutes. We're going to put the whole thing in with this lovely mixture on top for about another 25 minutes, I believe. I forgot. Glad I slowed down. Almost forgot the 1/4 cup of melted butter, just because there wasn't enough goodness in this already. And that's going to create a pretty runny kind of mixture that will pour beautifully over top of our chocolate morsels in our pan. And you'll notice that I've lined the pan with aluminum foil, which I then lightly greased. And the reason being that when these are done, there's a nice bit of overhang. When they're done, I'll be able to just pull out on the sides of the tin foil and lift the squares out, and it makes it easier to cut them into bars. And who doesn't like a nice evenly cut bar? So, I noticed that was a little hot last time I picked it up. That's what they look like before they go in the oven. Put them in there for 25 minutes, and I'll show you the finished product.